Hello, welcome back to another week at SC. See, I change the scene, took the red one off the ramp, put the blue one on. Just get underneath it, do some work underneath it and have a look. I've never been underneath it yet, so it's nice to get a feel of things. I know it's an RS2000, so I know exactly what it's like, but if you've ever built cars, you'll know no two are the same. So yeah, that's what I've been up to underneath. I'll show you now. So under the bonnet doesn't look like it's changed much. Can't remember what I was up to last week. I think I got the 4 branch in, can't remember. Anyway, we've now got the thermostat. I had the thermostat housing, but the owner sent 2 thermostats down and both were wrong. So I picked up the thermostat today in a fitting kit, got that on. Got the fuel pump in, just need to pipe that in. Waiting for the throttle bracket for the IDFs, and then I can pull the inlet manifold off, get that welded up, drill it, get that on permanent. We've got a horn, can't see it, but there is actually a horn under here, wired up, it works. We've got the bonnet spring in. I would like to have got all this zinc, but the owner said just leave it and he can sort it, so customer's always right. Washer jets and washer pipe is in, just need a T-piece and fit the bottle and bracket and finish that off. It's now Tuesday. Yesterday, Paul from Retro Wiring, I think it's called. Pretty nice guy, first time I've ever dealt with him before. He actually made the loom for this car about 5 years ago for the owner, and for whatever reason there was a few terminals that wasn't completed and a few wires that were short, but the idea was he was meant to fit the loom when the time come, but it never happened. I ended up fitting it, and when the owner got in touch with him and said there was a few problems with the loom, he was quick enough to jump on the phone to me and organise getting down here and get it finished off. So, like I say, he's finished off the loom. He needs to put a terminal on for the temperature, extend the battery cable because it was a bit short. It was rubbing up against the tray and coming up on the wrong side. What else? Finish off put a terminal on for the number plate lights, finish off the fuel sender wiring in the back, reverse light wiring, extend a couple of wires on the dashboard because they just didn't reach, but now everything's in, everything's working, we're all good. He was quite happy, the owner's happy that it's finished now, and it would have been an easy job for me to do. I was quite happy to do it, but the owner had paid this guy to do it, so the owner would then be paying me again to do it, which didn't seem fair. So anyway, it's all resolved now, everyone's happy, job done. And like I say, got it on the ramp, swapped it over, got the red one on the floor, put the blue one on the ramp, so I can get some work underneath it done. But while it's down, I'll show you what I was up to inside. So now we've got painted the heater controls. Let me just get on them. Painted the heater controls because it's a bit chipped and damaged. Put a new decal on there, fitted that again. Heater surround, clock and pod, and thankfully the clock works, which is good. So the wiring's pretty much finished in there, just need clipping up and out the way. Painted when my gimbal decides to wake up. Come on, play the game. Oh, yeah, there's no idea what it's doing. Literally no idea. Anyway, I'm trying to show you the rear seat cross member, which I've painted black because there we go. Yay, I'm not a complete retard. There we go. So I painted the back seat cross member because, as you know, it was painted in Nordic blue. When I put a black carpet down the black seat, it would have stood out like a sore thumb. Yeah, that's done. I bought a second-hand number plate loom because it didn't have one, and all the tape had come off, so retaped that. These are just some old number plate lights he had, got them plugged in, they're all working. So that's all the electrics working. What else have we done? Right, so clocks. When my gadget wakes up, hello, there we go. So when the clocks come down to me, they was in a box, and the owner pointed out that he painted the fascia in like a satin black or something, but whether there was some sort of reaction or there was just something on the plastic underneath, it looked awful, and like big raised spots all over it. And you know when you get, it looked like someone threw dust on there first and then painted over it, so it looked awful. And for me, the things that are, when you sit in the car, the things that are you touch, like the steering wheel, the gear knob, the clocks that are in front of you, it makes a difference to the feel of the car. So if your clocks look like crap, you're always going to sit in the car and go, it's a bit rubbish. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but it's just something I read it years ago, and it made a lot of sense to me. The things that you're in contact in the car and the things that you look at, if they're nice, it changes your whole feeling about the car. So for me, they had to be nice. So what I actually did was, I painted them once in matte black, and they look better, but you can still see all these marks all over them. So I took the risky decision of sandblasting them. I did a little test panel on the side first, just to make sure it didn't texture the plastic. And thankfully, it worked really well. It got all the paint off, got it down to the original white plastic. And then it's just a case of some panel wipe, plastic primer, and then matte black. I think once they go together, they look quite nice. I'll show you what I've been up to underneath the car. So underneath, first job, prop shaft. Customer supplied it. It was already, he painted it and wrapped it up. He also supplied new bolts. So I got that fitted with spring washers and torqued up. You always have to put your spring washers on, otherwise it might fall off. He also supplied trunk bars. Bit of a pain to fit, didn't want to go in because there was that much paint on there, but they're loose, because I always wait until the car's under load before I torque all the suspension up, just so it doesn't bind up on the bushes and sit too high. Rear brake flexi again, supplied by the customer, fitted. The brake pipes are already in. I need to drill down the chassis leg. Obviously there's no holes, so I need to drill some holes down the chassis leg. Well, it could be, no. Yeah, drill some holes down the chassis leg, put the steel brake line clips in and mount that. I also have to, I've got a brand new fuel line kit for it and fuel line clips. So again, I'm gonna have to drill all down the chassis leg for that. I think there's some holes here. Back end. What do we do? Oh yeah, I had to back all the shackles off, because as you can see, we've got a rubber pad missing, we've got a spring cup, we've got another rubber pad, we've got bump stops missing. Picked up a new handbrake bush today, got that in, nice easy job. So the owner said, when he sent the car down, he sent 2 brand new half shaft bearings in boxes and asked me to fit them. So the car come down with just back plates and half shafts. Pop the half shafts out to find new half shaft bearings already fitted. So that saves me a job. So what's going on? There we go. Yeah, so don't need to change half shaft bearings, but he hadn't supplied brake cylinders, so I picked a pair of them up this morning from GS Classic Fords and started to build them up, and then run into a problem. So this side, customer supplied brake shoes, brand new brake drums, used adjusters, and a brand new brake fitting kit. So fits it all together, tries fitting the drum, and it turns out the drums, I think, are Mark III Escort, because the mounting screw, which you don't have on a Mark II Escort, and when they're fitted, they're sitting off the back plate quite a bit, to the point you can see the brake shoes. So I'm gonna have to do a bit of investigation, but I don't think they're right for this car. So I might need to source another set. Another issue I'm having, I'm yet to work out what it is. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Yeah, it's quite obvious there. The brake shoes are sitting right out at the top and in at the bottom, so to the point they're actually sitting on an angle, which isn't right. So I don't know whether I've been supplied the wrong brake cylinder and it's pushing the shoe out or the shoes are wrong, you know. So again, a bit more investigation to do on that. Which is a shame because that side is all together. So this side might have to come apart again yet. Which is a pain. But yeah, it's just a quick update on where I'm up to. These are going to be changed, obviously. They're not the right bolts. He did mention something about that. Just generally go over it. Make sure the whole back end's together and right. And obviously fit all the missing parts. Locating the axle. I'm still missing a handbrake cable because GS didn't have one. Handbrake rod, again, they didn't have one of them. I've got all the pins, I've got all the boots and stuff for the arms. Got the brake pipes for the axle already made, ready to go on. I've not fitted them yet, just in case these cylinders are wrong and I have to swap them. And then it's going to be exhaust, some fluids, brake pipes, fuel lines, fuel tank, all the good stuff. Thankfully, all of it is brand new, so you'd like to think it'd go together quite well, but it's a classic Ford and they never do, so we'll see. And they look a bit better. Sadly, there is a couple of little scratches on the fascia up here and just micro scratching all over, and a couple of little rust spots on the speedo head. Now, I did clean it up and got rid of a lot of it, but some of it just won't go. But anyway, generally they look nice and presentable, much better. I think they'll look good in the car. I'll turn the lights off for the first test. Oh, we got a battery light. We've got gauge illumination. What else do we need? We've got no front indicators that are flashing fast. Unbelievable, that never happens. Every single thing works. Well, apart from the tack and temp and fuel gauge, because none of them are wired up. But so far, so good. We've got our heater controls illuminating. We've got our brake test illuminating because there's no brake fluid in it. The thing we haven't got illuminating is the clock in the pod on the dashboard, because I need to get some bulbs there that are funny old size, but yeah. Unbelievable. There's normally like at least one bulb out in the cluster. Well, first time. Very happy with that. The dashboard's starting to look nice now. Good job ticked off. Just got to put the speedo cable and pressure pipe in. But yeah, happy with that. It's coming alive, slowly but surely. And back to it, day after. It's now, was it Tuesday? Wednesday. Can't keep up with the days. I'm going to attack the front struts because I've just had a message to say the springs will be delivered today. So I'm going to get the struts off. That's what excuse next door's grinding away. So you can't hear a thing. Get the struts off, get the hubs off them. It's having new wheel bearings, drilled and grooved vented discs, and Willwood forepots. He wants the strut casings painted, and he wants the springs changing because they're -1 inch. He wants -2 inch, and then I can hook up the brakes, make a steel brake pipe from the strut to the caliper. He wants the track rod ends changing because one on the other side split and he's got brand new ones, plus he's got no lock nuts on the rack. And he also wants the roll bar painting. The problem I've got is that's not an RS2000 roll bar, that's a 20mm. So we need to source a 22mm roll bar. Get that on there as well. But yeah, that's today's jobs. Get rid of these crusty struts and make it look pretty. So the first job I do, and I always do it, is take the track rod end off just so the strut moves easier. It makes it easier to get to the ball joint and stuff. Unless, of course, the top nut has been over tightened and then boing, boing. Yeah, So now I'm going to let it down. That would have been an absolute nightmare to drive and would never self-correct after you turn the steering because the top mount's been over-tightened and it's just springing. That's why they have a torque setting on there. I think it's like 33 pound-foot or something like that, or 33 newton meters. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there is actually a torque figure, and if you don't get it right, you either get that or you get a knock in the top mount. So yeah, let it down, do the top mount. Better. It's a little bit tight, not quite sure why, because I've backed it off most of the way. Let's investigate that. Anyway, much better. And next job, bottom ball joint, get that out of the way. Obviously the sleeve's missing out the bush as well. Lots of things to be checked on this before I can get it on the road. Yeah, bottom ball joint, get that out of the way, and then it's just the 3 top mount bolts, and that's one strut off. There you go, there's one strut off. I've stripped the hub off it. New paint blasting them. Put new bearing, give them a lick of paint and put new bearings in. At the very least to get new bearings, new discs. There's the old spring off.
Sammy?
So we've got the driver strut off. Got it in the spring compressor. Got the spring off it, strut top off, hub off. I've split it down, got the disc off it. So we've got strut case with an insert. Good thing we did strip it down. I didn't just try building the car because you can hear it. It's hard to do it. The strut insert wasn't actually tight, so that would have knocked about when you would have to strip the strut off and strip it down to secure it. Anyway, I'll pull the insert out. I think we'll put these in the blaster, and they've been painted before, but you can see the surface rust coming through, so a bit of crust in there as well, so give them a blast and a paint, make them look pretty, put them back on. So it's Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock, something like that. It's been a busy couple of days, not filmed as much as you'd probably like, but I've just been thrashing away trying to get through the jobs on the car, simply because it's not got a mega budget, so I can't spend loads of time prepping and cleaning parts up. It's just a case of make it look presentable, get it together. But I'll show you what I've been up to anyway. So not a great deal's changed in here. Washer bottle brackets in. You'll notice, well, you won't notice, but the strut tops, because I've had the struts off, I stripped everything down, blasted everything, painted it. Washer bottle bracket in. I'm going to swap these for some zinc ones and the proper spring washers and stuff to lock them up. And I'm going to get new nuts for the top, new lock nuts, but they look a bit better, no rusty strut tops. Inlet manifold's off. I'm going to give that to Ian, Triple H Engineering next door. He's going to weld it up for me. As I said before, one of the mounts for the throttle bracket had ripped out. So the new throttle bracket turned up from Burton, so going to weld it up. I can then line it up, re-drill it, tap it, job's good. Rocker covers away, that's getting the top milled off it. Dale doesn't know about this, this is going to be a surprise for him, hope he likes it. It's a little bit tough at this point because I'm going ahead anyway, we'll see. Big one. So I think it was yesterday morning, filmed taking the struts off. So if I can just get the camera to work. So we got our 2-inch 170 pound front springs, got the struts off, blasted, etch primed, painted, hubs stripped out, blasted, painted in heat-proof grey. Obviously you get a bit hot, normal paint will just blister. We've got our Willwood Willwood brake kit in. It's just a standard M16 replacement, but 4 pots. We got brand new wheel bearings in there. We got new lock tabs to lock everything up. We got new strap rod ends and lock nuts. We've got our Goodrich brake flexes in. Yeah, took a bit more time than I would like, blasting everything, and I did all the top spring cups as well. So yeah, it just takes time, but I did it as quick as I could. Struts aren't perfect, they're quite pitted, but for this car they'll be fine. Just the grease caps left to clean up and give a lick of paint and get back on. But generally they look much better, and it should sit an inch lower as well, which is even better. I've just got the brackets on the rear quarters for the corner bumpers. These are unique to an RS2000. You don't have them on a Mexico or any other model. It's just because the RS2000 has 3-piece rear bumper. It has a steel centerpiece and 2 corner end caps which bolt to these. So yeah, underneath, I can't remember what else we got up to underneath. But yeah, yesterday basically was down to full day of stripping the struts, blasting, painting, you know, all that good stuff, getting all the brakes back on it. I don't think anything's changed inside since last video day. Not a great deal. Just lots of little bits and pieces going together. So underneath, I've got the rear brake pipes in. These are already made, thankfully. So got them in and hooked up. Hooked up this side too to the flexi. The other side. So now there is only one brake pipe left to fit, which is already made, and it's the one that goes. Oh! Can you see it? On the T-piece. The T-piece has actually been put in wrong. It should be. Yeah, it's been put in wrong. Basically, there should be one outlet that's pointing down, going forward, which is for the right front wheel. I've got that pipe. Just needs fitting. There's another job ticked off. Just got the inlet manifold back off Ian Swinley at Triple H Engineering. It's actually my next door neighbour, very handy to have. He actually had to dig out quite a bit and cut out because it was full, it'd been drilled out and araldited, and he also found part of a drill tap tool stuck in there, so someone had made an attempt in the past to fix it. Messed up and filled it with araldite. Anyway, he did a top job as ever. Fixed. So now the inlet manifold can go on the back on the car for good. Carbs on. Nice solid bracket. That's a job well done. If you need any welding, TIG, stainless, alley, steel, whether it be framework for a house, girders, you name it, he can weld it. So give him a shout. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram, Triple H Engineering. Good lad, and he'll look after you. So that's another week wrapped up. SC Classics. Mainly been working on the Nora Batty, as she's named. Lots of little jobs in, lots of little jobs done, sorry. All the brake pipes are now in and plumbed up. This morning I made the last 2 for the front wheel buds, so the stripped. I went through that before, I'm not going to go over it again. But yeah, progress, lots of progress. Where are we? There we are. Struts are looking better. Oh, there we go. Much better. Last thing to do is for the front end, we span and check everything, because a lot of it was already in. You know, like the cross member, roll bar, all that stuff was already in. Steering rack was mounted and stuff, so I'm just gonna span and check all the parts that I didn't fit, just to make sure they're all tight. I am going to be swapping the roll bar, because he asked me to paint it, but the problem is it's quite crusty. It's going to be, a couple of hours cleaning it up, painting it, making it look nice. And it's not actually a 22mm roll bar like an RS2000 should have. It's actually a 20mm, so that could have been off like a 1300 or a Mark 1 or something like that. So it's not thick enough. And I know it's only 2mm, but it's an RS2000. It should have the proper roll bar. So I have got a nice tidy 22mm roll bar knocking around somewhere, already black, so that will go straight on. I think we've already got I think it's got new bushes on the car already, and if not, they're easy enough to get. So spanner check, throw the roll bar on, paint the grease caps, get them on, and that is the front end suspension all done. Back end, I've still got, I could only find one bump stop for the axle. When I went to GS the other day, he has since messaged me and said he's found the second one. So the first one that I picked up, I've already blasted, just needs priming and painting black. And I'll pick the other one up on Monday when I'm back in, along with one of the vent pipes for the dash, because one of them split. And I can get the other bump stop blasted, primed, painted, get them on, and then we can get all the spring insulation pads and the spring cups, get everything on and get the axle torqued up. I think that's it for the axle then. Still not sure on brake drums because they don't seem to be sitting right, so I'm going to do a bit of investigation into the brake drums, the brake shoes and the brake cylinders. I'm pretty sure the cylinders are right, not sure on the shoes because they don't seem to be sitting properly, and the drums I'm almost certain they're Mark III Escort, so a little bit digging into them. Once I'm happy with all, get all the rear brakes sorted out, make sure they are all right, I can then bleed the brakes up, which is another big step. Yeah, it's coming along. Inlet manifold welded up. I think I've seen it. Filmed that yesterday. The inlet welded up, tapped, throttle bracket on, so I can mount the carbs and everything for good now. Get them on the engine, mount them for good. Get a dipstick on there, get some engine oil in there. What else? We need some plug leads. On the next one, distributor. It has in the engine, it's got either a power spark or an AccuSpark. It also comes with another brand new AccuSpark and a second-hand AccuSpark, and I'll be honest with you, I am reluctant to fit any of them because I've had quite a few problems in the past where the tolerances aren't correct on them. I don't know whether it's a heat thing or what, but they lock up and they shear all the teeth off the auxiliary drive, and then all that shrapnel goes through your engine, which is not good. So to clean it up properly, it's engine out, strip it out, get all the crap out of it, new auxiliary shaft in there. I hope it hasn't done any more damage, so I'm not even going to take the chance. I've had 2 AccuSparks go in the past. I've known of quite a few more and I've seen many complaints about them. So I'm not even going to attempt it on this car. I'm going to find another distributor kit. So I'm looking at either a Beztec, which I've used before. The only downside is you've got to have the big, that's not big, but you've got to also mount, you've got to mount your coil and you've got to mount a box as well. I'm not sure what the box is, but you've got to mount that somewhere, and I don't really like them. Other than that, I'm thinking H&H, but it's something I've never used before, a H&H. So, not sure. Next one is, I think it's going to have to be non-vacuum advanced type as well because of the IDFs, because there's no vacuum reference point on the IDFs. So, I'll have to look into that anyway. But anyway, I'm just waffling on now. I'll show you a bit of what I'm up to on the car and then we'll round it off. So we got the cylinders in, shoes and drum on this side. We've just got the stops to put on the gators. Once we've finalised what's right and what's wrong with the brakes, got all the rear brake pipes in. This side there's no drum, no shoes, no adjusters, because there's no point building that up until we know if this side's right. Bit of digging to do. Need the bump stops on there and the shock, the spring cups and the insulation pads, and then we can torque everything up, get that finished up. Brake lines in, mounted down the chassis leg. I did make a boo-boo. I fitted the exhaust manifold and then had to take it off again because there was no hole in the chassis leg. So I'll get that on early next week. What else? Yeah, we've already seen the struts. They're looking better, not perfect, but they are quite pitted. Got some new track rod ends on there, no point tightening them in yet. Tracking's not right. Same on this side, new bearings, new springs, new track rod ends, new locking tabs, new discs, new Willwoods. Oh, it's gone the wrong way. And all painted up to look a bit prettier. Yeah, that's what else we've got up to. There's more than that. I'll let it down. Oh yeah, finished the last of the lines for the Willwoods. I'll do the job for that. I think while it's up Monday morning, I'll probably get the fuel lines in, and then we can get the fuel tank in. I think I've got everything now to fit the fuel tank, so it'll just be another thing ticked off. Yes, the trap bar's loose. As I said before, I always leave all the suspension loose until it's on its wheels, and then torque everything. I've got to swap these spring eye bolts because these are wrong. I know he said he had a problem with the ones that he bought new for it, so I'll have to have a look at that, see what's going on, what the issue is. I'll let it down now. So not a massive amount done at the back end. Got the number plate loom cleaned up, retaped, got that in. Got new number plate lights in, got the rear bumper brackets in for the corner bumpers. We got the rear seat brace painted black. Clocks all, well, rebuilt, fascia blasted, primed and painted, got them in. Clock and pods in. Heater controls painted, new decal, rebuilt, put back together, fitted, heater surround. What else we got in there? I think that's about it for inside. And then under the bonnet, there's not a massive amount going on under the bonnet actually. Let me gimbal wakes up. Took the inlet and carbs off to have it welded up, as you just seen. Took the exhaust manifold off so I could drill the chassis leg down there, and also swap that union round because it was in the wrong position, so you couldn't fit this front driver's brake pipe. Washer bottle bracket on. So these strut tops, both blasted, painted, put back in. They need torquing up and locking. I think that's about it. Oh, bonnet safety catch. That one's in as well, so we've got them both in. Just need adjusting. Yeah, like I say, not a massive amount. I have had other bits and pieces to do besides this car, and I was off yesterday afternoon as well. But yeah, it's progress, it's moving along. I'm hoping to get this one back on the ramp next week. I'll probably get this one, get the fuel lines and fuel tank in this one, and swap the roll bar. Do my spanner check on the suspension as much as I can, and then get it off the ramp and swap it and put the old Red Beauty. Still haven't named this one, so if you've got any suggestions for a name, leave it in the comments below. Time to get this one back on the ramp. I think I've not touched this one at all this week. I really want to get the engine in this so I can start mocking things up in the bay. I'm really excited to see it in the bay, and I hope you are too. It's gonna look brilliant. It's hidden over in the corner under an engine stand, on an engine stand under the cover. It's a pretty trick. It's gonna look good in there, so I'm quite excited to get it in. Yeah, that's next week. Do love this car. Not usually a fan of red gold, but that just works. Polar opposite from Nora Batty here. So that's it. Another week over. Seems to be flying by. Oh, thanks to Tony as well, my better half for my new work t-shirts. She's been testing out vinyl printer. I think she's doing quite good actually. So yeah, another week over. Another week in the trenches, surrounded by Mark II Escorts. Thanks for watching, as ever. You know, I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch the videos. Hope you're learning something from it. If not, sorry, can't help everyone. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Try and get as many subscribers as I can. It helps with the channel. You know, what more can I ask? It's free, doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. You're helping out. Anyway, thank you. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next time.